He already had an amazing performance on LeBlanc this season.
You'd expect that they would go for this again.
They
There we
will.
go. So yeah, they flipped over to the Rengar for a bit, but LeBlanc will be the final pick. So we've seen what happens when this makes it through.
So Shen and Camille banned means to me that Samsung just wanted Maokai. They really wanted to set up a top lane where there was no easy counterpick into it outside of something risky like a Fiora that we don't see a lot in Korea. That's why we see it locked in so early.
Could very well see a Rumble for Crazy.
And if we remember back all the way to 2015 MSI Final, Maokai was one of those picks that was picked to deal with Faker's LeBlanc because, especially now with the even longer time when you come in with Distortion, very easy for Twisted Advance to come through, Spirit Visage Maokai, and the damage reduction to answer a lot of Maokai's kit, but so frequently outside of just one time, I believe, in Korea, LeBlanc has been the big winner. And can you imagine talking to 3 weeks your old self or yourself 3 weeks ago and talking about LeBlanc and Rengar being on the same team?
I was going to say, my 3-week-old self wouldn't really understand much of what you were saying, Bob.
I'm tired.
This League of Legends thing would be like speaking hieroglyphics to me.
I'm tired. Yes, I'm trying, boys. I'm trying.
That's quite all right. So Rengar snatched up here for Bless. He'll be happy about that one. You have to expect Ghost likely going to be taking that Ashe yet again. We see that consistently into the Jhin. No, Edge of the Night has come into the meta, so you could pop that, go into the curtain call to deny the Ashe Arrow interrupt. But Ghost, after having that MVP performance, will be revisiting that pick.
And if you saw Ezreal and a support taken, then maybe Ashe Karma or Ezreal Karma could be there to answer the Jhin, but safer just to go with the Ashe. I mean, look at the pick power already with just LeBlanc, Rengar, and Ashe. Corki is the choice from Crown again, is undefeated on that this season. But let's see if they can round out what should at this point be a strong sieging comp with a Maokai in the front line.
All right, well, I mentioned the Rumble, and it's going to get taken away here by Samsung right off the bat. So just trying to eliminate any advantageous lanes for Crazy.
I wonder if Crazy will go back to a 2015 Crazy champion, because the one interesting pick we've seen into the likes of Ashe, Maokai is the Olaf top, which can actually do decent things in lane and then run at someone like Jhin or run at, say, Syndra if it's taken and deal with it. So we won't necessarily see picks like that in this game, but an out-of-the-box pick here for Crazy would be interesting to round out what is a power draft so far for BBQ. And, well, seems like people are playing Ivern finally in Korea. When I talked to Cloud Templar before we went to IM, people told me that junglers in Korea didn't think Ivern was worth making work. Clearly Haru has been playing it in scrims or solo queue, otherwise we would not be seeing an Ivern ban.
Yeah, could just very well see a final ban against the jungle here to try to offset Haru. The Grave's still available for him. Again, didn't have a stellar performance in game one, but it's actually going to be Kha'Zix.
I was going to say, Kha'Zix to me is the pick you go for when you see the Maokai. Could still be the Cassiopeia. Well, they already have Corki. I guess it wouldn't be the Cassiopeia, but Maokai and Kha'Zix already a formidable duo.
It's jungle Corki.
When you have a true tank, even Graves in a better spot because you have a top lane tank that can provide lockdown. The one pick that hasn't worked for Haru this season has been the Lee Sin. He'll go there. He's 0-2 on Lee Sin. So that has not been a happy hunting ground for him so far.
Just giving that last pick over to Wraith. We'll see if he wants to pull anything and go outside of the box here with his pick, but looks like we might just have a very straightforward composition from BBQ's bot lane with the Zyra available.
I mean, Zyra Nautilus would be a very strong early game comp that can snowball out of control instantly with the LeBlanc.
Well, there you go with the Nautilus. Find out in a second whether or not it's going to be flexed into that support role. Have seen that on occasion.
Sure. It's good against Karma. You can just block up her skill shots and have engaged with the Q and just the auto attack, of course.
But looks like they'll just take the Nautilus for the top lane and take Karma for themselves.
Yeah, Zyra or Karma for laning power is fine. Zyra has more utility on that side. Now we're waiting to see what Wraith wants to play. Already saw a performance on the Thresh last game. We'll see it again here. 2 Threshes in a row.
Yeah, we'll see how Wraith handles this one as opposed to Totoro's performance, which was very on point.
I mean, look at this draft from BBQ, though. It's so much power. Sure, you don't have the Maokai, but Nautilus has the early game push against Maokai. You get going with the LeBlanc, and this is like perfect draft. Just blitz the early game. I'm never surprised when Samsung opt into the scaling, but it's not really scaling. You know, Corki, Jhin, 2 item 80 carries that powerful in the mid game. It seems like both teams have tech that makes them win in the mid game, and then we have a Maokai, which is the only real late game insurance for Samsung. I mean, BBQ, you get 3 kills on this team. If it's 3-0, I don't see how this draft ever loses. It's just so damn powerful in the mid game.
Well, really rough stuff here from Samsung. I mean, you were kind of questioning going into this, how were they going to draft? It seems like BBQ still get the upper hand. The LeBlanc falling through is just so questionable.
LeBlanc, Rengar, Ashe, all these champions have been first picked in recent times. Karma and the rest of the draft certainly, in no way is letting it down. So BBQ, I just don't know how they've assembled this line. They could still lose with it. Look, the game is certainly not over, but the picks on paper are outstanding.
Yeah, looking really good for them to close this out with a 2-0 to slingshot their way into that 4th place spot over Samsung and MVP. Samsung taking a gamble, keeping the roster the same here for Game 2. Let's see if it pays off for them, or if they pay the ultimate price. Let's go ahead and get on the rip for Game 2. And welcome to Summoner's Rift yet again for what could potentially be the last time tonight. You can hear right there a lot of BBQ fans here in the audience.
Yeah, the sentence you said certainly wasn't surprised, but the fact that it will be a BBQ 2-0 would definitely go against expectation. BBQ had their most disappointing performance of the season, losing to Rox Tigers just before Rox Tigers went to IEM and seemed to level up. We saw a good performance by them in Series 1. But where BBQ was at, you were just ready. I think everyone was kind of ready for, okay, BBQ, nice schedule, and then falling away over the season. Comfortable 7th for BBQ, but a result here, a 2-0 especially, would be just a shot against those expectations, because 4th place, the first round robin, is incredible for the former ESC Ever organization.
Yeah. I mean, that would kind of live up to the expectations we had for ESC coming into the summer split last year, where they looked like they were going to be the performing challenger team. Ended up being MVP, who are still resting up around that playoff contention at the end of this first round.
You just wonder, because you think of the roster changes, right? Like ESC Ever, well, they finished 9th, almost got relegated. And like, okay, take away Loken, who, okay, didn't perform to expectations in Korea, but on his day was a good AD carry. Replaced him with Ghost, who we had little to no information about, played 1 game of Twitch, and that was it. And then Trust Totoro, who was the support, the support, I guess you'd say, or the substitute support, and then go 4th and finish 4th. It's insane how much either scouting or luck. It's very hard to say how you ended up with this roster. Was it just, well, we have no money, so okay, Ghost is a young player, we'll take him, or is it just really high-level scouting? I think we have to give the benefit of the doubt, given it's been consistent results. It hasn't been a flash in the pan, and the players have taken the next step. Tempt, Crazy, especially, have taken the next step in their development, and they look very formidable.
Already, though, Haru looking to get things started. Crazy going to get jumped on by that Twisted Advance. Flash away from the Nautilus. He's getting slowed up by the red buff. Gets the slow, no hook available, as you say, and that should be first blood going over to Samsung. They get things going. Kill goes to Cuve. Trying to fast track this defensive build on the Maokai.
And very fast pathing to the top lane from Haru. Nautilus wins this matchup early, largely through a pushing advantage. Edge line was only level 2. Good pathing from Haru to punish him. Important for Samsung to get the little settler, get some positive vibes into the mind after losing game 1.
Yeah, now TP down for Crazy. Can't buy anything other than that control ward, so going to be hurting quite a bit in these exchanges after Cuve gets his first back, as could just very well see the double Doran's ring come through from him.
Sort of thing that can delay the power spikes of what is a very strong early mid-game comp from BBQ. Wait and see how Crown is able to equalize the LeBlanc in mid lane that so frequently has been banned in Korea. Still 100% contested in season 2017.
Yeah, that's going to be the big game changer here for BBQ. Attempt on that LeBlanc. We'll see if he can get rolling. And yeah, double Doran's ring does come through damage, extra HP and mana sustain for him. He's going to be quite happy and formidable going up against Crazy now. So it should be working out very well for the Maokai.
Double Dorans for the Corki as well. Haru passing through mid just to relieve pressure if there was an engage like this, but it's all over in an instant.
Now Bless trying to take away these Raptors, gets hit, jumps right back in onto Haru. He's going to go low, trying to jump away. Crown comes over the wall, the exhaust comes down. Bless flashes out of the bomb right there, but still might fall. No, the Sonic Wave doesn't connect. Temp comes in, locks up Crown, finds the kill, flashes over the wall to get himself out to safety. The sapling comes through. Haru, can he find a Sonic Wave? It's point blank, gets it. One more hit would do it. The slow comes out from the Tempest, and he is able to come up with a kill. So answering the kill onto the mid laners. So 1 for 1.
Incredibly well. What he did at the end where he juked a skill shot, then smited the Scuttle Crab just for the little boost of HP was majestic. I thought he was dead to rights. It was first reaction from Crown. And for them to go 1 for 1 in a situation where Tempt was by far second to react, that's massive. So watch the replay here. Bless falls low. Crown's the first to get there. Even flashes for the audience like, okay, it's over. First flashes the Q, then moves forward with his own Q to smite. Really good stuff there from specifically Bless. In no world should he have survived that particular engage. And sure, Haru's able to clean up Tempt, but that was very impressive individual play from Bless.
Yeah, you can see Tempt was trying to juke out the Sonic Wave for it coming over the wall, but might have actually just led to his death in the end. But either way, 1 for 1 on the board here for BBQ.
But consider where this leaves everything. You know, both champions in the mid lane might have a reposition ability, but to me, down on Corkies means you get a slight advantage there to Tempt when it comes to potential all-ins. The exhaust was also put down to secure the kill, so no summoners on Crown means that exiting lane and roaming is more preferable to going down in a couple of burst rotations to the Corki.
Tempt for now just going to be getting a little bit of a CS lead. Haru's waiting in the wings. Tempt pushing really dangerously close over towards that river, but Haru hasn't pulled the trigger quite yet. Waiting for Tempt to push up a little bit further, it would seem.
You don't have enough damage to pop him instantly without a rocket.
Oh boy, but now that the distortion is down, it's going to be in a bit of a rough spot. Dashes out yet again.
Oh!
And there we go, the juke back. So, didn't expire yet, so was able to snap back into the mid lane.
Was a very fortunate level 6 though. Both mid laners were at level 5. It was level 5 on the side of Tempt. Think he would have died there, even though the juke was nice.
And BBQ, I mean, despite giving up that first blood, they've been able to swing themselves back into a very slight lead, pretty much just even against Samsung. CS leads coming out of every single lane at the moment, albeit some of them just inching out in front.
And now the trades become even more important because Kilios, if you ever lose a flash on the side of Samsung, every lane is food for the Rengar. So many lanes to gank for.
Oh,
well, he takes
nice
it.
takeaway by Haru. Gets the kick in onto Bless. Goes down to about half HP. Can't
Mid
quite
lane.
come up with the kill. Meanwhile, Tempt going in, trying to pop Crown, who's just about out of mana.
Tether range there. Meant the damage didn't register.
Meanwhile, bottom. Curtain call comes through. Ghost gets hit twice. Wraith with the flame back. Fourth final shot won't connect, but that's going to be the hook into the deadly flourish. Flash away by Ghost, just ensuring that he stays alive.
Ends up being a respect flash in many ways. Probably wasn't necessary.
Still keeps himself up for now. Totoro roams back down, try to alleviate some of this pressure, help clear out the waves.
Wraith was able to get good deep vision. We didn't see any punish coming through from Ghost and Totoro. The first time we see, at least visibly, that Totoro roamed was a nice punish from Samsung, getting both summoners.
Yeah. Good stuff by them, and Samsung just keeping their head above the water for now.
They have on Raptors that gives information on the pathing of Rengar is so helpful for the laners. The fact that Rengar has these potent lane ganks makes him very difficult to track, so you definitely need that vision, as if you were jungling against an Evelynn.
And just look how easily Cuvée is winning these trades. I mean, has the Sap Magic passive, but then all Magic Mantle helping to mitigate the damage coming out from Crazy is just doing wonders for him. Bless is here to maybe try to turn Crazy's luck around.
Has red buff.
Does have red buff, does have the ultimate ready to go. He's going to go ahead, pop that. Depth charge comes through. They leap in onto Cuvée. Nice arcane smash. Dredge line connects, though, with the bola shot, and that should be one dead tree. A couple more shots. There we go. He goes down, and that's going to be Bless coming up with a kill.
Well,
And definitely jumpstart the Rengar.
well played by Crazy. Needed to hit that dredge line to guarantee that the rest of the damage would register from the Rengar. Held his cooldown well, held his flash as well. So a repeat gank is certainly possible on top.
Yeah, very well done. Cuvée will see when he spawns if he's going to go ahead and pop the TP. There's a wave crashing into the turret, but it looks like he's just going to forego that and wander his way back in. Wants to be able to match Crazy with teleports should it come down to it.
The way Samsung weathers this very, very strong storm from BBQ in the early game is for Haru to play Battle Ward against Bless. Whether it's just purely from warding himself, being the vision jungler, he's on Lee Sin, so he has a decent time dueling against the Rengar. As we've seen Haru get some kills on Peanuts Rengar earlier in the season. Umti actually as well. What you can do is just get in there and tussle with the Rengar, because if Rengar has the space to choose his lane, coordinate with his laner, with the amount of CC in this game, you can't see these ganks failing. You know, top lane came close, but certainly ended up being registered. So shutting down the Rengar as he stands in the jungle, to me, is the big window for Samsung to not get blown over.
Yeah. And going in, trying to get a trade, but he's going to miss the tether. Crown has the package, was looking like he was going to inch down towards this bottom lane, but thought better of it. Now Haru waiting for an invade. Sonic Wave doesn't connect.
Doesn't know he's there.
He's just going to go ahead and peel back, and BBQ, they'll just clear out the ward. Tempt walking in, though. Face checks. He gets connected on. The resonating strike comes through. Now Stitch opening up the curtain call. Finds one, but has to cancel the rest of it as the TP comes out from Crazy. Ash Arrow goes through.
TP
connects
completed.
on the Crown. Can they get on top of him? The answer is yes. They jump in, just lock him down, and take him out. TP gets... He won't be joining this fight, and BBQ come up with a pick.
Yeah, Cuvée gets really owned in that exchange in many ways, because he tried to hold onto his teleport like he did so many times in game one. Didn't expect Crazy to just flash auto attack and guarantee the kill onto Crown. So map movement-wise, first with the Shen and now with the Nautilus, Crazy is running Cuvée around the map. He ends up just canceling his teleport, getting nothing from it at all. Was surprised to see the teleport complete, but then you remember it's Nautilus, and even though it's a late teleport, he always has a chance to turn around and engage.
Yeah.
So at this point, you're like, okay, teleport's going to be cancelled. It ends up, it's going to be wasted, but first the Ash Arrow allows Crazy to get in range. Flash, auto attack, goodbye Crown, and yeah, Cuvé's too late.
You see Wraith just trying to do his damnedest to keep him alive, dropping the box in the Dark Passage, but can't find it. Now Bless comes down to the bottom lane. But Haru is here to turn things around. Hook connects onto the Rengar, and he is just mincemeat for Samsung. They take him out. Kill going over to Haru, 2-0-1 on the Lee Sin.
It's actually a really weird interaction, because we saw the Mimic was actually used by the LeBlancs, so I think there was some mind games there, and actually ended up being mind games on Bless. We didn't see the full interaction. Ghost and Totoro means that they won't be able to push the turret just yet.
Still strong wave clear here with the Karma Ash combo. They'll hold on to that for now, but another pick just going to keep things neck throughout the 12.5-minute duration of this game so far. 3-3, just 300 gold separating both of these squads. Dragon is yet to become a point of contention. It's the Cloud Drake, so both teams willing to wait on that one for a bit longer.
So viewers who watch other regions, specifically NALCS, where you see a lot more Fiora from the likes of Someday, might be wondering, why do we keep getting tank matchups? So much early Maokai, but you often see Nautilus, Poppy picked into it. Sometimes the Singed back in week 1, week 2. Why are we not seeing the Fiora? Why are we not seeing people try to kill the Maokai? And it's all about bot lane. What people have realized is that when you make a teleport play bot lane, when you have this meta of long-range AD carries, utility AD carries, and very strong laning supports, if you ever get a kill bot lane, you get the first brick, you get the first turret, and you don't have to play around the top side, because you're spending your whole time warding and ganking for top, and you lose a turret in bot. You have an incredible injection of gold to the enemy team. The utility AD carry will get his items at whatever speed, and things go very, very well. So it's games like this and series like we've seen today where so much action has been around bot lane that you start to understand that going for a tank top is so much more reliable, and sometimes you can even snowball the tank top.
Yeah, they're looking to do just that. Cuvée goes in with Twisted Advance, just trying to keep Crazy in underneath this turret, and that's actually going to dissuade BBQ from completing the dive. Tempt was on the roam up. Actually, they're going to go right back in for this one. Oh, ill-advised flash from Cuvée. Pays for that one with his life, but this could open up Samsung to finally get that first brick. Looks like they may just have it. Totoro trying to clear out the wave. Tempt comes back in. Turret still alive, but the last couple shots come through. They'll knock that down. And that is going to swing Samsung into a very brief gold lead, as the turret will be matched in the top lane.
Nice movement there from Samsung. If they were any slower on the rotation, they would have had to settle for a Cloud Drake, but they were fast. They got to mid lane, and at least got first brick to answer what ended up being a kill and top lane turret.
Yeah, losing the first brick for the Cloud Drake, definitely not the trait that you want. So, well done by Samsung, but Cuve, a little bit dirty play there. Ash Arrow comes through, Ghost not going to connect, gets hit by the Sonic Wave. They're trying to set this one up for the curtain call. Never mind. Mars says, you know what, I'll just take that one. Gets himself his third kill. And that's going to be another turn for Samsung, who are starting to get the ball rolling.
Deep teleport from Maokai. Picture perfect first brick teleport, but obviously a lot later than that in this particular game. Second turret of the game, and the game speed starting to really be accelerated by Samsung.
Yeah, now the dragon comes through for them. Not much else that they can take on this side of the map, so they go ahead, snatch this one up, lightly hand the blue buff over to Crown. They can go back, spend all this gold that they just earned.
They've been so disciplined playing around the Rengar specifically. And what was looking like a game that Rengar would dictate. They've perennially had multiple wards, even a control ward in the red side jungle, and kind of left Maokai out to dry, but Maokai will get his items, be able to teleport, will still be relevant, and they're trying to win the game around BBQ, tunneling on getting the Nautilus started in top lane.
First real lead that we're seeing come through. Still only about 1,000 at 15 and a half minutes, so nothing insurmountable for the side of BBQ, but definitely faltering a lot more in the shot calling compared to game one, where Samsung just trying to, sort of change positions, I suppose, with BBQ. So now they're on the back foot. Haven't seen Temp do too much on this LeBlanc. 1-1-1 across the board, still up in CS very slightly, but we haven't seen that explosive performance like we saw before from it.
Yeah, and straddling between two items as well, Bissell Scepter and Morellonomicon coming through at some point. Still has decent kill pressure on most members, maybe not the Maokai. It doesn't have teleport. We've seen LeBlancs run teleport. He was run at IEM, but Ignite has been the choice in the LCK to get that snowball rolling.
Yeah, we've seen a lot more of, of the Ignite coming back in, especially with Ari swinging back into the meta. It's been that Ignite pick that we've seen get snatched up for that hyper-aggressive play.
When you can't guarantee that your enemy is running teleport, because back in the last LeBlanc meta, it was just teleport LeBlanc versus teleport whatever, basically. Everything was teleport in the mid lane, basically. You know that Corki's running exhaust, so going in combat summoner makes sense on the LeBlanc. You don't need your own exhaust. You can distort away from most skill shots, so makes sense to go for a combat summoner, and Ignite has always been the big one in that regard. Exhaust being nerfed on future patch on 7.4 will also be interesting to see if we stop seeing as much double exhaust in the mid lane. We have seen heal Corki from time to time.
We have the double TP meta, now we have the double exhaust most of the time, so bring in some change every now and then.
Double exhaust is the fun police, so I'm not a big fan of that one.
Haru maybe looking for a play on Temp. The pings are coming out, but he's just going to go ahead and eject himself with a blast cone.
One of those things where you see a distort, and then you can just go in as Lee Sin and pretty reliably get the kick, and only the second distortion and flash is available to get Tempt out of the situation.
Able to recall safely, and Crown's just been building himself up towards that Trinity Force, has the Phage and the Sheen ready to go. I haven't seen how much gold he's got in the bank at the moment, but should be relatively close.
Multiple members here from Samsung. They start on the turret.
Should be able to just brute force this one.
BBQ slow to react here.
Yeah, I mean, no TP from Cuve, but unlikely that they even need it. Temp goes forward, Ash Arrow comes out, won't find a target, the turret goes down all the same, so Samsung, nicely done. Got themselves that final outer turret. And BBQ just, they look a bit lost in the macro play so far in game two.
Yeah, they're just second to everything. In that first game, it would be BBQ in Samsung's position, where they'd be first to react and initiate, but this time they don't have the Shen. This time they're not investing things like Crazy's teleport. With Cuve and Crazy just having very much a tank fight in the bot lane. Been well executed, although.
Buzz goes in, trying to get on top of Wraith. Gets taken down about half HP. Meanwhile, Crazy roams his way up. Cuve coming in. The Nautilus still very tanky. Meanwhile, the curtain call shots are coming through. Ghost will get body blocked by Totoro, so he's not going to go down quite yet. Deadly Flourish connects, but won't find a root. It looks like it's just going to be an exchange of damage and summoner spells from both sides.
Good play by Samsung. Stitch actually hit the first 2 shots onto Ghost as he flee. It was nice prediction from him. But no more, so not actually able to pick up a killer objective and what was looking like a pretty good fight, given that Blessed used his flash to exit at the start. Much harder to pull off solid macro when you lose your mid lane turret pretty early. Yeah, BBQ's reinvestments of time, specifically to shut down the Maokai, seems to have been at the cost of 2 lanes. And that's why it feels like now that it's no longer laning phase, and Maokai versus Nautilus is so irrelevant when it comes to who is stronger at this point in the game, that Samsung seems to have made the right choice in the early game with the rock, paper, scissors, because all in on top lane hasn't given BBQ much.
Certainly has not. They're trying to keep this gold lead from stretching any further. Done a decent job of that. Still just under 2,000 gold so far for Samsung, but objectives are something that have been evading BBQ for the most part. Just have that one turret coming in. Haven't been able to get much else for themselves. Next dragon is coming up. Second of the game is going to be an Infernal. Both sides will desperately be looking to get their hands on this. Seeing BBQ already pushing in to get the Scuttle Crab. So they have that semi-permanent vision.
Doing the smart thing of trying to prep pressure and vision around both a split push and the backup objective you pick up there, which would be the Infernal Drake. For now, Samsung very out of position to contest either objective.
Kuve Crazy both in the top lane. No way either of them gets a TP off without having to back off quite a distance.
Only Haru on this quadrant of the map. Thresh going to come relieve some pressure, but that's already a lot of that taken away.
Yeah, Temp doing a good job. As Crown comes in, has the package available. Doesn't want to go in. Saw Totoro, doesn't know that Bless was waiting in the brush, so a good call to not go too aggressive here, but instead they're going to swap over, go for this Infernal Drake. Kuve has walked his way down, TP. Have to be burned out by Crazy. He's
going to be all alone.
He's completely. So now there's going to be a 4v5. Bless and Thrill to hunt. They just have to go ahead and concede that Infernal Drake. Goes over to Samsung, and now there's a second one on the way in 6 minutes. If they pick that up, that is going to be good night for BBQ.
Bonus objectives here as well. This is a really nice rotation from Samsung. Going to take the through mid. They were really smart, specifically around clearing out vision while LeBlanc was getting turret shots, not losing the turret, picking up the Drake because they walked down Cuve, and now they get mid lane inner turret as well. Super clean from Samsung. Didn't see this Samsung in game 1, but roaring onto the Rift in terms of kills, but in terms of smart play in game 2.
Yeah, for sure. It seems like game 1 was a bit of a wake-up call for this roster. I mean, they made the decision to not change things up. Tempt, what more can you say, walks right into Haru, and he just gets popped.
It's pretty zoned out there, as far as I can tell. Tempt didn't seem to react until he'd already lost over half his health bar. And that's a 4-0 Lee Sin, who snowballed to the point of getting an early serrated Dirk.
I mean, and very crucially, you mentioned how the Lee Sin, how Victory has kind of evaded Haru with this champion. Turning that on its head right now here in this game 2. Stitch going to get locked up by the Asher. They peel off the Baron. Only got down to about half HP. Instead, they're going to go ahead and turn right onto Bless. They pop him, and that should be Samsung picking up this Baron. No initiation available on the side of BBQ outside of Crazy's ultimate, but there's just no way for them to get into the pit and contest this. No way for a miraculous steal. So BBQ just going to go ahead, have to peel back, get the blue buff so they at least don't lose that. But Samsung, they just blew this game wide open. 4,000 gold lead, Baron in tow. And just 2 more inner turrets for them to take, and then they're onto the inhibitors.
I know I've been craving a series like this where the map movements and the smart map team decisions have been what separated the games. IEM was kind of fraught with lots of late game, 1 kill comes in, being decided by a Baron throw. Honestly, the games yesterday were pretty rough. Longju was looking pretty rough after the break as well. But this has been the better team in terms of decision making. Game 1, that was BBQ snowballing out a lead very well, and then being given over a god comp in many ways of power champs in the early game, and Samsung just outthinking them, outwarding them, and outplaying them around the map, as we're going to see what happens when Temp doesn't pay attention to a 3-0 Haru. And Haru was the one backing first, but clearly the more aware
Temp doesn't do anything until after the Resonating Strike is completed. Which, I mean, I guess is to be expected because you don't want... So it's a bit of a rough spot to be in, but still rough stuff there for BBQ as they slip further and further behind. And what looked like insanity from the draft from Samsung, handing over a composition like this to BBQ, starts coming together as their macro is just so much better.
About Genius is that Genius is when you play right on that edge of insanity, and
it's a very fine line.
You lose this game, and it's just, what's this drafting? Fire the manager, fire the coach. You win this game, and you're like, man, really smart stuff from Samsung. Now, do you give this draft to SK Telecom? Probably not. But either it was their scouting or their steadfastness in making this comp. So far, it worked. Although
Gotta try something here. They lock up Wraith. He gets popped up by the depth charge. Crazy still in the front line, trying to take up as best as he can. Won't get rooted by the deadly flourish, but still likely to go down, and he does. Stitch able to pop him. Meanwhile, Bless falls as well. Tempt going dangerously low, trying to run out of here. The curtain call coming through. Last shot, flies straight and through. Third shot, actually. The last one gets on to Totoro. That's going to be a double kill coming through from the Jin, and now Samsung at 25 minutes going to be breaking the inhibitor line. 20 seconds on a lot of these members. 35 on Temp. Do they just go for the finish here? They're relatively healthy.
Double AD, I think it might be a kill, so you can even have Cuvee tank up a few shots, keep these minions healthy. Karma's not going to instant wave clear, and I think we got ourselves a series.
It definitely looks that way. No 2-0 coming through from BBQ, which means they will not be able to slingshot their way into that 4th place spot. Samsung holding on for dear life. They knock down the Nexus. They take game 2. They're going to make this a series. And suddenly it's any man's game, and I think after this one we can definitely say we're not going to be seeing any roster swaps. That was excellently played by all 5 members of Samsung.
Really cool stuff from Samsung. A 25-minute win against a comp that was tailor-made for 25-minute wins. Letting the Nautilus get free kills on the Maokai, but running the rest of the map to the point where every time Tempt went for a flank on on LeBlanc, was caught in rotation, didn't have the latitude to make the LeBlanc plays, and they owned the other 2 lanes to an extent where it didn't matter that Maokai was falling behind. Really nice macro game played by Samsung. So different to game 1, where they just picked wave clear and let the game kind of be lost or played at the pace of BBQ. And now we get a best of 1 to decide it, and that's a really exciting thing because both these teams have shown that when they get their ducks in a row, they can completely take over again.
Now let's just see if we can have both teams having their ducks in a row simultaneously instead of one after the other.
Then we might get the Monte Cristo special. 0 kills on both sides, just pure rotation. 0 kill final destination. Let's go.
Let's have it. All right, we'll see if they're able to bring that one out. You know, maybe they get shattered by that loss. They look so good. They got handed over to LeBlanc, and they can't come up with a victory.
They saw that draft, and they were sniffing the 2-0 and just all the excitement from their fans. Samsung make those dreams a nightmare in many ways. The really clean game 2, and now I just got no idea what we're going to see on the Rift in game 3.
Yeah, definitely unsure of what's going to happen. BBQ shifting back over to the red side. Definitely could mess up the draft. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, we'll have our 3rd and final game.